Last segment we're gonna go ahead and start off is gonna be about looking at we're gonna be looking at a video to look at these financial influencers give you advice when it comes to building your credit. So let's go ahead and hop onto that video. All right, first one on the list, this guy, what is his name? Brian Chung. All right, so he's talking about how to instantly increase your credit score. Let's see if it's true. All right, this guy. Let's see. What is the credit score first step? All right, we're just going to move fast. So let's watch and see.
I'm gonna break it down super clear and easy for you all to understand. Going into number one, which is reviewing your credit report and submitting a dispute. So real quick, this here is what a lot of credit repair companies charge people hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to do, and it's for good reason. It turns out 66 million people, or at least 20% of Americans, have at least one error on one of their 3 different credit reports. Here in the US, those 3 credit reports are generally
He's starting off strong. That's every financial guru's thing. Dispute everything. That is like the go-to. What about the people that don't? You just pretty much skip over this step. All right, so far he's starting off a little shaky here. I'm like, okay, let's see what he got. Let's get back into it.
Generated by the credit bureaus, and that's going to be Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. These scores all collect and interpret information differently, so you'll have to check each one of them for any potential error. Now, to do that, it's actually very simple. First of all, go to the website, show government home for any errors that you notice. This includes addresses, payment history, credit pulls. Audit everything about your credit report and make
addresses don't affect why your credit score is low. He's already starting off back. Come on, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Come on.
Make sure that things add up and that there aren't any mistakes. Look, even if you're paying your credit cards on time, because of the mistakes that these companies make, they could still damage your score. And all it takes from here is to then figure out what that is and then to file a dispute. To do that, you're first going to need to get documentation. So if a credit bureau is saying that you missed a pay account you closed as open, get the document that shows that the account was actually closed. This here will be the...
All right, let's go to step 2. All right, we know step 1. File a dispute.
This section here is rather simple, but it can make a huge difference. When it comes to maximizing your payment history, you want to be paying your balance.
Who told you about payment history? Who told you about I told you about payment history. See, I'm on fire. See, I'm a genius. I know.
Balances off in full every single month. To do this, start by setting up automatic payments on all of your credit cards and loans if they're not already turned on. If you have a mortgage, a car loan, a line of credit, and multiple credit cards, all it takes is one slip up to miss a payment. Now, automatic payments make it effortless and remove any potential for human error. Now, if you are purposely not turning on automatic payments because you have more bills than the income that you make, we'll talk a little bit more about what you can do in that situation in a few minutes. Regarding the topic of at least just staying on top of your current payments, the next step here is to then know what your deadlines are. So something I used to do way earlier on was to go into my Google Calendar and to at least input the notifications and set it monthly to remind me of the bureau. And this actually segues very well into point number 3, which is actually reports to the credit. From there, you want to go ahead and pay off the balance to your credit cards before it actually reports to the credit bureau. And this actually segues very well into point number 3, which is just keeping your overall utilization low. Now, this aspect here makes up 30% of your credit profile, and credit utilization is going to be the big...
Who also told you that? I told you that. Come on. He's just copying me at this point.
Biggest portion, and simply put, this is just the amount of available your own credit score drastically. Now, on the off chance that your credit utilization is rather high, and this is because you can't pay your balance off in full, well, I got a solution for you going into step number 4, and that's simply just consolidating all of your debts. So if you're carrying a balance on your credit card, chances are you're paying some high interest debt, which can go up to even 20 to 30% or more. With rising interest rates from the federal government, you want to make sure that you're able to at least save the 20 to 30%, which can add up up to be a significant amount. A lot of people
Doing a debt consolidation isn't going to help you increase your credit score fast. What's going to happen is that you're just shifting one debt to another. It is going to decrease your utilization, but you're still going to owe the same amount. It's just you're going to be paying it for an installment loan. What you would rather do instead of doing a debt consolidation, because again, this guy, he looks like a kid. What you need to go ahead and do is do a credit card balance transfer. Have you ever received those offers through the mail where it says 0% interest for 12 months if you transfer your balance? That is what I'm referring to. And when you do that, you need to ask for a higher line of credit, because essentially you're going to be shifting. Let's say if you owe $10,000, you're going to be shifting it now on over to a new credit card. And let's let you get approved for $15,000. So essentially what that happens is that now you have a cushion of an additional $5,000, which helps your overall credit utilization and your amounts owed. So definitely don't do a debt consolidation. I would say those are for me more for people that are actually trying to get out of debt and use it. But for a step here to increase your credit, no. If you want to do that, it's better if you just do a balance transfer. Let's go to the next step here.
Smaller details here. Starting with credit age. This is going to make up 15% of your score. Now, it turns out one of the most common mistakes that people make is close.
Again, that doesn't help you increase your credit score fast. There's a reason that it's called a credit age for a reason. So in order for it to actually start helping your credit, you have to let it continue reporting for years before it actually starts being a positive. So again, here we go. And he tried. You give it a shot. He failed. Don't listen to that. Like, your credit age, like if you get a credit card and you've had it for 3 months, that's not gonna immediately increase your credit, because again, you've only had it for a short amount of time. You need to have it for a long time in order for it to really make effect. So whatever. This is what. Subscribe to me. If you want the real details, subscribe to my channel and I'll get you there. I can definitely promise you that.
Using credit cards that they're not using. And the mindset is usually something like, oh, hard for inactivity. Now, going into step number 6, we've pretty much at this point broken down the factors that now make up the first 80% of your credit score. Now, what if I told you that simply by paying your bills off that you'd be paying off anyways, you'd be able to optimize those categories and increase your credit score further? Well, in this section, we actually had the honor of getting in touch with Stellarfi, who has a unique solution to also help you increase your own score. So Score. They do that, then make your Stellarfi to help you increase credit score and access to a full credit report to help you find areas to improve and correct. Stellarfi also helps to boost subscription. And with that being said, let's move on to step number 8. And this is going over your credit mix next. So your credit mix is going to make up 10%.
See? Credit mix. He's fine. He's back on track. He was like going down. Now
of your profile.
Back.
And this is...
Shut up.
Shut up, bitch.
I'm talking here. He's went down and now he's going back up. See, gotta mix that credit in order to build to get your credit. I can see that affecting and increasing your credit, because again, if you only had credit cards or lines of credit and now you just got an auto loan, now that immediately would diversify and help you increase your credit fast. I can definitely see that happening. Let's go to the 8th step here.
Going into step number 8, and this next one has a huge if attached to it. So if you need your score as high as possible, the last 10% of your score is made up by your new credit. This means when you get a hard pull on your account, you'll have a temporary drop in your credit score. And in a situation like this, I'd recommend you avoid opening new accounts, because new accounts will drop your score a bit in the short term, but
Okay, out here, he dropping bars. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. See, not pulling your credit a lot, applying for a lot of loans. See, I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. All right, let's see what else he got. Let's see what else this big head got.
opening a new account. Next up is a simple step, but just always make sure you're monitoring your own credit. So I like to set email and text reminders from my credit card companies like
monitoring doesn't help you increase your credit score. For going by the title, it says how to instantly increase your credit score for beginners, or a beginner guide. That's not going to help you. What's going to help you is maintain your credit. You are able to see if maybe something was reported incorrectly or something new reported, maybe a new account opened. Like, that's the information that you will go ahead and see on your credit report. But, just monitoring it, you aren't going to increase your credit fast. He started off strong, dipped, went up. He's taking a slight dip. Let's see. This is the last step. Let's see.
and optimize from there. Now, if you've done all those things, here is the last method and probably one of the most powerful ones, and this is called piggybacking. So when it comes to getting a score even as high as 850, this isn't about being the best in all the categories that we mentioned, but it's actually about time. So it turns out the longer you have a good report of credit, the better your score will be, and that's what's going to push you from 720 to the 850.
That's exactly what I said. Remember how he was talking about opening up a new debt consolidation? What is that going to do? Lower your credit age. Again, you need to not open, if you're trying to get it increasingly fast, essentially is don't open up any new accounts. Actually, I'll talk about this later. Yeah.
Level. Now look, I get it. It's not easy waiting 5+ years for your credit to slowly climb up. So one technique that people utilize to fast track this aspect is piggybacking. To do this, find a close family member or
All right, we'll skip that. I know what it's talking about. Piggybacking is another word for credit authorization. Have you ever heard that term? If you haven't, I'll put essentially credit authorization is when you ask somebody that has really excellent credit. I'm talking about like 760 and up credit score to add you onto their credit card. Essentially, you're not going to be obligated to pay them. It's just showing that you are being reported under, which it helps to reflect. That is another efficient way to help you increase your credits fast. Have you ever done this maybe with your kids, or maybe if you just like co-signed on a loan? That's another way to be a piggyback. So see if you don't have the best credit and you find somebody to co-sign for a loan that they agree on. Essentially, that's another way that you can go ahead and piggyback. So overall, to get your credit score was not the best, but it wasn't the worst. I would say it was definitely average. There's a lot of what you hear out there. If you're definitely trying to increase your credit fast, what I would suggest is, again, he touched on a lot of those topics, so I'll try not to touch on them. But don't open new accounts. You'll lower your credit age and increase the amounts owed. Also making sure never to miss your payments. When it comes to increasing your credit score fast, disputing is very important. If you fall into that something was reported wrong, the company said that, hey, you had a 30-day late payment, and it wasn't true, and you're able to get it overturned. That will help. Maybe a collection that's not true, because collections will hold you back. When it comes to that, I would also say paying off your collection, because the thing is that if you had a whole bunch of accounts to go into collections, essentially paying off those collections will help. What do I mean by that? I know you've heard, essentially, do not pay off collections, but if you're trying to increase your credit, you need credit to build credit. So if you don't have anything else that's reporting positive, because you let everything go to the trash by stopping to pay it, then you're going to want to pay it off, so then you can apply somewhere else. You may not get approved immediately because, again, it was very recent, but essentially, I was like, at least when someone like me looks at your loan application to approve you, we'll be like, okay, he has his collection, but he paid it off kind of, he paid it off fast, which is very important to us that, you get these collections because that will hold you back from getting certain loans. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. What I would say, if you definitely want to increase your credit fast, and yeah, if you definitely found this video very entertaining, educational, and fun, go ahead and hit the like. If anything that you do not understand, please comment so I can help you. That is my goal of this channel, to be able to help people build their credit to the 800, or help them get to their credit goals. And again, book a consultation with me for me to help you build your credit. I'll have it in the description when it comes to my email, so you can go ahead and contact me. And again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, share with somebody else that needs some help with their credit, and I'll see you guys on the next one.